Welcome, everybody. You're listening to the Fair Weather Podcast. It's your boy, 2K Suave. I am here with this fine young gentleman over here, Mr. A-Rod.
What's going on, everybody? As you can see, if you're watching the video, that is me on a Tanking Jets plane with the meme of the guy with the fork in the socket. So thought I'd have some fun with the background.
And what is that guy wearing? He's wearing a New York Knicks jersey, right?
That would be the freshest Nick coat you could find on the market right there.
And I'm right now currently located at Lincoln Financial Field, where the Philadelphia Eagles play. You know,
pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID, there's hella fans in the stands right now, so it don't look too crazy right now. It don't look copacetic, but we're here. Thank you guys for tuning in. We got a nice packed show for you guys. A lot of stuff has happened over the last week. We're going to get into today, Mr. A-Rod.
So we gave you our predictions last episode, and we pretty much nailed it, except for one.
Mm-hmm.
The Cards got kicked out and the Bears got in. So we'll run over our predictions and how we did with that. We're going to give you a little segment that we drew up for one fair weather fan base out there. We're not going to tell you that segment just yet, but when it comes up, we'll definitely let you know what it's called.
We're going to get into them. Don't worry.
Yeah. We definitely want to get into them, and we want to let you know who they are very, very soon. The matchups we have Saturday and Sunday, the playoff pictures there. Then we have, MVP, who's going to be the MVP. So we'll discuss a little bit of that. And then after that, we'll jump into the NBA. We'll talk about Steph Curry, Bradley Beal's crazy nights, 260 points, 62 and 60-point games.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Knicks really doing things? We can discuss that. Philly, are they a true number one? And then we'll just run.
We'll talk about that.
Standings. So that's everything that's on the agenda for us tonight. So we'll kick it off, with our playoff predictions and how we did on that.
All right. So we got into the last week of the season, week 17. There was a few teams that played. A lot of playoff implications in the AFC, a lot of 10-5 teams that needed to get in. In the NFC, we had the NFC East still wide open for 3 teams at least.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had a couple of bad, not so great 8 and 7 teams trying to back into the playoffs as well. So we got them all pretty much right. The only one we got wrong was obviously the Arizona Cardinals. Last week we didn't know who John Wolford was.
Yeah.
Let's
start with AFC first.
Yeah, start AFC.
Dolphins waxed them 56-26.
Mm-hmm.
We all said it in that segment. Dolphins fans, next year will be your year. You'll probably playoff bound.
It wasn't personal.
Nothing personal. You got the 3rd pick overall, so that's something to be proud about.
Mm-hmm.
And you're that close to making it to the playoffs. I mean, the Bills team, like I said, there's just one guy behind the other that's just as good as the guy starting there.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to go in that game with momentum. Nobody likes to go in cold, so they did it right. Dolphin fans, you get 2 first-round picks, a 3rd overall pick. A lot to be happy there, but you're not going to the playoffs. Ravens wax the Bengals.
As expected.
They are in. Browns beat the Steelers. We got to see the Mason Rudolph, Myles Garrett handshake, sweep it under the rug, play the game. It was a really good game, 24-22.
Mm-hmm.
Browns beat Steelers. Steelers already had a great record going in, so they're in. And then the Colts beat the Jaguars as expected, and Colts are in now.
Mm-hmm.
Transitioning over to the NFC, you get the Rams knocking out the Cardinals and the Packers beating the Bears, thus elevating the Bears to go to the playoffs. And then the WFT, aka the Washington Football Team, beating Philly.
Congratulations, guys.
Exactly. So the Rams, John Wolford, nobody knew who he was. 231 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. That sounds like a good day, I guess, for a backup.
It does. Hey, it gets him the W, right?
If you get you play to win the game, one of the best Jets coaches said.
Mr. Herm Edwards. There we go.
You play to win the game.
Hello.
So yeah, they did it, but at his expense, no rushing touchdowns. no passing touchdowns, all defensive special team play.
You gotta, keep in mind, Kyler Murray was banged up. He got hurt. I want to say, still the better team won because the Rams are a better team even without Goff, which makes me think about it. Is it the system? Like, is it Sean McVay's system or is it Goff? Is it
I think it's the
what is it?
defense. I think the defense
The
is just
defense is
that
what's
good.
carrying them.
The
So
defense shows out when it needs to.
yeah, so I feel bad for Arizona because I like Colin Murray. He's a good guy. Hopkins, I love those guys, but you know, the better team won, so we got to give it to the Wolfman for getting it done.
Yes.
Um, Also, I also want to give it to the Washington football team for getting it done because Alex Smith, you know, broken leg, Ron Rivera dealing with what he had to deal with this last couple of years. They got rid of Haskins,
Fully
which was
booked script for
beautiful.
them to get in. It really is.
Yeah, so there was nothing wrong with that. I don't mind as a fair weather Eagle fan. I was happy for them. So kudos to the NFC teams that got in. Everybody that got in deserved it. Nobody was 6-10, but carry on,
Yeah.
carry on.
So you stuck to the script is the best thing. It's like my team could not stick to the script. We had to almost beat the Raiders and kind of make Jets fans a little bit happy there, but they lost. So we were like, okay, we're riding this wave, to the tanking jet behind me to the ground. But then we go ahead and pull off some wins, man. So it's like it doesn't make any sense. We win 2 games. But Philly going into this game
Yes,
knew what they had to do.
knew what we had to do.
This is going to bring us into our transition here to our little segment that we have for that fair weather team that we want to talk about, the Giants. And their little segment that we have is called Fuck Giant Fans Feelings, okay? Because I have never seen so much crybaby sports in a while. And I want to get off first and say what I have to say because
I will gladly let you say what you got to say for the other team and that you share a stadium with. Go ahead and
the team that is like predominantly the New York team.
Mhm.
Philly stuck to the script, and Giant fans are mad because they aren't going to the playoffs. Well, you have a losing record. Okay, you have a losing record. As a matter of fact, everybody in your division has a losing record, but somebody's got to go. It just so happens that Washington didn't suck as bad as you did and happened to actually put up a fight and win some more games. And the Eagles lost because they could either win that game and get draft position 9 or draft position 6. And I know you're going to touch on it, and I'll let you touch on, Rich Eisen's podcast a little bit.
Yes.
But everything he said was ideally what I was going to say before this podcast. It's a great, beautiful metaphor of how the Jets and the Eagles are one doing it right, one doing it wrong. And the Eagles did it right. So I don't want to hear from Giants fans. Stop your crying. Stop your bitching. The players who are tweeting, shut up. If you were in the same position, you would have done the same exact thing. I don't want to hear it. Take it away.
So sticking to that, if they were in that position, they would do the same exact thing. They've been in that position plenty of times before, and they have done the same exact thing. How they ended up with a Saquon Barkley when they played Geno Smith a few years ago. How they ended up with an Eli Manning. Like there's a reason why they ended up with these players, not just because they sucked. It's just at the end of the season how your season is looking. Go get the player that you want. We know who we want at 6. We might have 2 options at 6. I know who I want. I want the Heisman winner, Devontae Smith. But we do what we're supposed to do. Now, as far as the Giants, I feel like we live in a world where everybody wants a participation trophy now. We're becoming soft as a people, as a football fan, as a sports fan. We are becoming soft. They want their 6-10 team to find a way to back into the playoffs. Whereas if they would have just beat us in week 10 when Evan Ingram was wide open in the fourth quarter, they wouldn't be in this position in the first place. They would have been 7-9 and they would have won the division. But they want to blame us for not doing them a favor. And what favor do we owe the New York Football Giants?
None.
Absolutely none. Second of all,
feelings, man.
Second of all, Joe Judge. Joe Judge comes from from a notoriously known cheating organization in the New England Patriots, and he's sitting here beating the table how we will never disrespect the integrity of the game. We would never do that. Blah 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 blah. And he's crying and rallying all these other sports people, and analysts and stuff. His players are tweeting and Instagramming and MySpacing about how, oh man, what are we watching? We're so sad. And I'm like, guys, you guys were 6-10. Like that's what I keep going back to. If they were like the Dolphins we're dealing with, the Dolphins finished 10-6 and missed the playoffs. Uh 12 years ago, the Patriots finished 11-5 with Matt Castle and missed the playoffs. Now, 11-5, 10-6. I understand you was I'd be pissed
That's
off.
10-6 too.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be pissed off. I would be very pissed off if I was 10-6. You're 6-10. Your team was trash. You didn't make enough plays throughout the year. Why don't blame us for what we're trying to do? And then also the media keeps trying to like create tension and stories and all that stuff. Going into the game, we already knew what was gonna happen. They deactivated Carson Wentz. They activated Nate Sudfeld.
To see what they have in him. We all know what that means.
Whatever that means, Doug Peterson announced during the week we're going to play we're going to play Nathan. God, I'm gonna call him Nathan Peterman. Nate Sudfeld. We're gonna play him. Zach Ertz didn't play. Dallas Goedert didn't play. Fletcher Cox didn't play. Like all of our best players did not play. So going into the game, we already knew we're not trying to win the game. We're just trying to see what we have for next year and hopefully get that number 6 pick. So obviously, and at that time when they pulled him out, they were saying, oh, Jalen Hurts was having such a good game. Jalen Hurts had 78 passing yards up to that point, like 30-something rushing yards. And like it wasn't like he was doing amazing anyway. So in a regular circumstance, in conclusion, this happens every year. This is not the first time it happened. It's going to happen every year, unless they have an NFL draft lottery. Then maybe, who knows? But if this is a 1:00 game on like Fox, where not everybody was like tuned into that one game, then you would see like, oh, this is not really a big deal. But it just happened to be an 8:25, 8:30 kickoff on NBC, the very last game of the year. Everyone's in their feelings.
It was 2014, so it's like,
yeah. I mean, and
deal with it.
It's just just get over it. Like it's really soft and like. And then Joe, sorry, I'm ranting right now, guys. If you're not watching the video, I'm breathing hard right now. I'm so dark skinned, but my face is red. You can't even tell. I'm animated right now. But like Joe Judge was talking about, our players have we've been dealing with COVID all year and missing birthday parties and practices, and it's been tough for us. And for them to do that, I'm like, we've all been going through the same thing. We've all been dealing with the same pandemic. We've all been missing birthday parties. We're not out there drag racing. We're really doing that you're doing, Joe Judge. So get your panties out of a bunch and move on.
Welcome to being a head coach, Joe Judge, and also your feelings, man.
Special teams coordinator. Go back to whatever you were doing. Go take care of kickoff. God.
Yeah, man. So that's our little segment on fuck the Giants fan feelings. So had to bring you guys
fly, baby. Fly Eagles fly.
It's nothing personal. It's just got to bring you down to earth sometimes. And people who
6-10.
If you think that game should have been like, oh, we're gonna go all out the rest of the season just to let the Giants go in, I guarantee you nobody in the division thinks that way. Exactly. And when it comes down to it, if the Eagles weren't going to move draft picks, like if they were stuck at 6, they might have went out there and played to win the game. But
exactly. But the annoying thing that I've heard a lot of these Giant fans do, they're like, well, the Texans play hard. Yeah, because their pick was going to the Dolphins. They don't give a damn where their pick is going. Deshaun Watson's trying to leave Houston. J.J. Watt just gave a speech 2 weeks ago,
and then gave him a best apology speech.
And the best apology after. It's like, don't compare the situations. Like it's so disgusting. But let's stop talking about bad teams. Let's talk about playoff teams.
So the playoff picture.
Let's get into some predictions.
2 days of playoffs, Saturday and Sunday. Our first game is Colts versus the Bills. And I think that's going to be a matchup of two very carbon copy teams, except for the quarterback position. But Phillip Rivers is, in my opinion, I'm not comparing him to Kobe, but he's kind of like Vino, man. The guy doesn't age. Like,
Old man River.
better as the years progress, and he's got rapport with his players. Any one of those receivers could pop off. They both got a good veteran receiver in Diggs and Hilton. Obviously, Hilton's a little bit older, but he's still a relevant target in the passing game.
Mhm.
A lot of young guys there. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Woof. So Bills defense, Colts defense, both really, really good defenses. My heart says the Bills. My gut is telling me Indy's gonna pull this off because Phillip doesn't want to go.
Upset alert, huh?
I'm pulling upset there.
The Buffalo Bills are playing at home with 6,776 fans, man. Come on. In New York.
Know, man. Maybe I just don't like the Bills and I won't go for them.
Even though
Benny and them like them, it's okay, but I'm not a fan. I'm sorry.
During a pandemic, during the panoramic, they're gonna have fans at the game. And you're gonna pick against the Bills?
Breaking tables and all. I'm going the upset 27-24. I say Blankenship kicks the game-winning field goal, and that's it. That's the dagger.
All right, man. So I'll keep it real with you guys. Ain't no way, no how will the Colts win this game. I got one of my really good friends, Mike, is a Colts fan, and I'm always cheering for him and stuff like that when my Eagles are not playing well. But Bills Mafia, Stephon Diggs, Beasley, John Brown, Knox, Singletary. They just picked up Kenny Stills off of waivers. Josh Allen is a top 5 MVP, top 3 MVP candidate this year. Honestly, like, this means way too much to that fan base. This is a team that lost 4 straight Super Bowls, 15, 20, more than 20. Wow, we're already in 2021, guys. 25 years ago, guys. Like, it's the Bills are going to beat the Colts 35-17.
All right.
You saw how they beat the Dolphins. They put their foot on their throat and kept it on for a desperate team trying to get into the playoffs.
They put that finger in the blowhole.
Oh, it was in that Dolphin blowhole. Made him cry, uncle. It was ugly.
Hey, man, any given Sunday or Saturday.
The game's on Saturday, so it doesn't work this time. There's no any given Saturday.
All right.
35-17 Buffalo.
Rams Seahawks next.
Mm-hmm.
So
division round. I like divisional game. I like that.
Goff is back. Goff isn't 100%.
Shit, they might as well keep Wolford in there.
You'll at least get 231 yards from him, and an interception. Mm-hmm. So small sample size. But anyways, I don't think the defense can contain Russ. I feel like Russ in the playoffs is a different beast, man.
Turns it on.
He comes to the playoffs ready to work, and he's got some fun little tools for him to work with on offense, and DK and Lockett. And even David Moore, man, he got a payday from him just from catching one last ball of the season.
Hey, that's how you take care of your team.
A lot of guys.
Tom Brady did that too.
A lot of pitchbacks.
Take care of your boys. Take care of your boys. Yeah.
I can get behind that. That's a real guy right there. But I think Seahawks go in there, take care of business, 28-14. I think it's gonna be an easy one.
It's a home game.
The 12th man.
It's a home game. They don't really have the 12th man like they used to, but it's still a home game.
It's a loud stadium.
Honestly, I am not a believer in Jared Goff. I'm not a believer in John Wolford. I think their defense is stout, so their defense is going to be there. But Russ, man, this guy's been to 2 Super Bowls, won 1. He's one of them. To me, still one of the most underrated players I've ever seen, like in a long time. Because he might not even get an MVP vote this year. He's never received an MVP vote in his life, which is insane. And this kid just keeps, not a kid, this grown ass man keeps willing his team. If I got Seahawks winning this game, I think it's gonna be low scoring actually. I think because your boy that you guys sent over to the Seahawks, Jamal Adams, he's loving it over there, by the way. Ooh, he's loving it.
He's not playing like he did with the Jets, but I think there's like an injury.
Yeah, but
he's still
this is beautiful. You don't think he's gonna show out in the playoffs?
Oh yes, I didn't say that. I just said like he didn't play like himself with the Jets, but this is his first taste of the playoffs, and he's coming to work, ready to work.
I'm gonna give you a score. Okay, the score is gonna be 20-14. Jamal Adams is gonna have a pick, a sack, and a fumble recovery all in the same game.
Wouldn't be mad at that, man. That's what they paid for him, and I hope they get that out of him.
Especially Jared Goff. Ooh, he gonna be in the backfield at least once or twice.
Yeah.
So 20-14, Seattle.
All right. So we both have Seattle winning that. All right, Bucks versus the football team.
Yes.
And the crazy part is the football team is the home team.
Let's go. NFC East, baby. Let's go.
Woo! All right. So honestly, like the football team, we all know they have a really good defense. They're showing out. Their front line is pretty young and pretty stacked. Chase Young is just like a wizard on the field. He's on that now. He's on that Ghostface Killer. Now you see me, now you don't.
Exactly.
He wants Tom Brady.
He wants him
at the last game of the season.
He doubled down on it too.
And he did. He did double down on it. But Tampa Tom, man, he's just got the experience. Literally every week they gave him a new present. He was like, oh, look, I just got Antonio Brown. Yeah. Oh, what do you know? Leonard Fournette got cut. I'll take him too. Oh, look, who's this? It's just people. I'm not hating on Bucks fans, but they didn't do this to Jameis Winston. He did have tools to play with, but he wasn't getting a new option every week. So
the Bucks, to me, are the definition of fair weather fans.
Yeah,
they define through and through what a fair weather fan looks like, for sure.
They definitely are. But you know what? They're back in the playoffs, and Bucks fans should be happy for that. They definitely should be. And they should, in my opinion, they should take care of business easy. Even though I want the Redskins to win. I do. I really want them because Ron Rivera, Alex Smith, it's just a storybook, team.
Yeah.
The Bucks are going to take care of business. 32-10. That's what I'm giving it.
32-10. So, obviously, for obvious reasons, I would love to pick Washington to win the game. People get this notion because I'm a Eagles fan, I'm a Michigan Wolverine fan, I'm a UNC fan. I'm going to automatically hate every Ohio State player, every, Cowboy and Giant. I'm going to hate every Duke player. I'm not like that. I'm a realist when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I really actually like Chase Young because I prayed to God that we had him. We didn't get him. And the Redskins, the Washington football team were the team that was able to get him. So he's going to be in my division for years to come. And he is a rookie. The 49ers gave us the blueprint last year. Just have a bunch of first rounders on the front line and you're good. So they made it to the Super Bowl last year with having the Giants too back in 2007. Just have a bunch of great defensive linemen and you can make it far. I think Alex Smith is, Alex Smith was 5-1 this season. So it's not like what's up?
The game manager, man. He's your prototypical good quarterback.
Go look at his career win-loss record. He doesn't lose games. So I like him coming back because of the whole injury, but I don't think he's healthy. They're already talking about doing dual quarterback during this game, which is horrible to hear. Ron Rivera coming back from what he went through, I would love for him to be successful as well, especially being a Latino guy. It's nice to see a minority do something in as a head coach in the NFL since they don't really give us opportunities like that. But let's be real. Tom Brady, Mike Evans might play. AB is hungry. Chris Godwin is great. They have a good running game. The defense is not terrible. And Bruce Arians keeps saying, be careful what you wish for. He might be right. I have it Bucks winning 27-17, actually, though.
Not bad numbers.
27-17. I think one of those scores will be a pick six, though, for the football team. So it will seem a little closer. But I I would like to say the Bucks will score a lot of points, but that defense is still legit. Don't get it twisted. That's a legit defense, and we know historically Tom Brady doesn't do well against good, front seven, front eight. So, as long as they keep him moving in the pocket, and he's slow, he's 43 years old, and the game's in Washington, maybe that helps a little bit. But I got a 27-17 Tampa Bay.
Okay, Sunday.
Sunday.
Ravens, Titans.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
Beautiful
one.
game.
That is a good one.
Yes.
We get to see arguably one of the best running backs in the league go up against arguably the other best running back in the league.
I was about to say, don't call him a running back now. Don't mess with my boy like that.
No, you get to see
not bad for a running back.
Probably, yeah, not bad for a running back. One of the best players in football in Lamar Jackson, and obviously the rushing leader Derrick Henry go at it.
Two-time.
Yeah, it's I think it's going to be a good game, and Titans win the division, so they're the home team. Ravens got to come in and do work.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of AFC North teams in it this year.
Yeah.
Just missing the Bengals. That's it.
If Joe Burrow was healthy, man, they probably would have finished 500 at least, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Joe made some strides, but he's not there.
Yeah.
So we got to see what the Ravens are going to bring to the game and how they're going to manage it, because ideally, I think they're kind of like game one on Saturday too. I feel like they both got stellar defenses, and they both got one big playmaker on offense. You've got the quarterback for the Ravens, and you've got, if all else fails, you can't get the ball out, just feed the dreadnought and he's going to run.
He could be at his own 2-yard line. He's taking the thing 98.
Yeah, exactly. He got the 2-yard line and he's in the parking lot. He's done. He's ready to go home.
I guess.
Linebacker. He's a small forward playing running back. He's a big boy.
Big boy.
And it's going to be a good matchup. I think it's going to probably be the most exciting game we get to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be that one. And it's not like, I don't know, I feel like the Titans are blah. The Ravens are kind of fun because they have cool colors or whatever. But for people to watch, they're going to watch Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry go up against each other.
Yep.
The Ravens, Lamar's got to get to clicking with the receivers. They gotta step it up. Someone's got to take initiative. And I know you don't like the Cowboys, but you've got respect for Dez.
I love Dez, man. The fact that he came back.
If Dez can come out there and show the young guys how to get it done and show how the playoffs are played, I think he can get some rapport going. Find out who your hot hand is at running back, man, because it's like plug and play one of these guys every week.
J.K. Dobbins, man. Another Ohio State guy, man. He's the guy. He's definitely the guy for me.
The guy, but Gus Edwards was holding his own when he needed to.
J.K. Dobbins, I'm telling you.
Gus Edwards is if not the Wayne Gallman of the league too. It's either Wayne or Gus.
Listen, all right, go ahead with your prediction. I'll let you know. I'll tell you why I feel. Go ahead. Let me hear your prediction.
Okay, so my heart once again says Titans because I'm a huge Derrick Henry fan. I've always been a big Derrick Henry fan. I think he's a very humble dude. He plays the game well. He's just comes from a small town, and they gave him a name plaque on the sign. But my gut is telling me Lamar Jackson is hungry, man. Mm-hmm. He wants to be a GOAT, man. So I'm saying 31-28 because we know there's one X factor that we don't even talk about. Nobody ever talks about. And I think it's the same X factor that the Colts get out of it, and it's that leg.
The kicker.
A lot of money for
kicker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They don't get the credit they deserve, but Justin Tucker can line up on the 40 on the opposite side and kick the winning field goal.
They don't really give kickers Hall of Famers. That's a Hall of Famer right there. No matter what you say, that is a Hall of Famer. Kind of feel very similar to you. I think J.K. Dobbins is the hot hand that they need to feed. Like, again, as a Michigan fan, I watched Chase Young bear down on us, and I watched J.K. Dobbins run through us. So I know the talent level that he has. He just needs to get the rock. Now, a lot of people are a little whatever about Lamar Jackson because they don't know if he can be that guy that can carry a team all the way to the Super Bowl. He's got the talent. He's flashy. He plays well when he's ahead. Does he do well when he's behind? I feel like there's a lot of pressure under him. but this is his third playoffs. Like out of all that rookie class, he's been in the playoffs every year since he's been in the league. I
Mhm.
think by like year one was when they played against Phillip Rivers, and he growing pains. You know, it was growing pains. He had to learn. Year two, they lost to these same Titans, but
Mhm.
they had the best record in the AFC. They had a week off, so I think they came back a little rusty last year. I think they're gonna remember that. I think Lamar Jackson's gonna have an excellent game. I'm thinking 100 on the ground, another 250 in the air. And
Like that.
I got the Ravens winning similar fashion actually with Mr. Justin Tucker hitting a big one at the end.
That's all you got to do. Milk the time down for Justin. He'll just do it.
He's gonna hit the big one and then hit the gritty at the end. Little Justin Jefferson action. Throw the
I'm
bees
game for
up.
that. Hit him with it. I'm game for
That's
that.
what I got.
All right. So you have it on a field goal.
Yep.
Saints Bears.
The Bears, huh? They backed into the playoffs at 8-8. Do we really need to talk about them?
I think I'm just going to give you the prediction right out the books and just we'll move on to the next one. 32-10 Saints.
Kamara's playing. Michael Thomas is playing. Drew Brees is about to retire this year, probably. Sean Payton is a madman.
That defense loves playing.
Oh my, yeah, I got it.
Payton even hitting the Justin Jefferson on him, man.
You
Sean
got
Payton in the locker room.
Sean Payton gonna hit that in the locker room this game because the game's in New Orleans. Oh, not a chance. You said 32-10.
32-10. The only hope the Bears have, besides their defense, even though they're gonna find ways to score on them, is feed the ball to Montgomery. Just feed that boy.
You know the only hope they actually have? Old Saint Nick Foles starting instead of Mitch Trubisky.
Is he?
Nick Foles, Mr. Nick Foles, carried my Philadelphia Eagles to a Super Bowl once, and it shocked the world. And he did play against the Saints last year, and then he threw that pick to Alshon Jeffrey that slipped out of Alshon's hands. So, if they have any hope, is they just say, "Screw it, don't play Trubisky. We're gonna play Old Saint Nick." But they're not going to do that because they
want to see what they get out of their number 3 overall.
So. Number 2 overall pick over Deshaun Watson, over Patrick Mahomes. Yikes.
Over Lamar Jackson?
Over Lamar. No, that was a different draft. Lamar was with Baker and them. But I got the Saints winning 28-7.
Comfortably.
28-7.
And then we got a repeat. We got a repeat Steelers Browns.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be a different game, I think.
Keep in mind, the Steelers did not play with Ben Roethlisberger last week, and the Browns struggled to beat Mason Rudolph and Josh Dobbs. On top of the fact that the Browns don't have a coaching staff because they got COVID.
Yep.
So Stefanski is not going to be coaching. I don't know who's coaching.
Higgins likes to go drag racing,
and they're going drag racing. I don't feel, and the Browns are going to brown. You know, they're gonna poop the bed. So. I don't feel too good about the Browns in this one. What do you think?
I think as a Browns fan for being a fair weather fan, because they're definitely one of the biggest fair weather fans too.
Are they really? They hardcore. For a trash ass organization, they're very hardcore.
They are very hardcore, but it's like I hear a lot about Browns fans like, oh, we got this guy, this is our year. But I will say this is gonna be the first year in a while you won't be throwing a parade for your crappy team that you had.
Oh yeah.
So that's coming to an end. So you should be out there. But Browns fans are fair weather too, man. Like look at the quarterback situation. You know, this is our guy, and then next year like this is our guy, and then the next year like this is our guy. So
I think they've had 18 quarterbacks in the last like 20 years, maybe more.
Yeah, they've had a lot, but they're definitely on the spectrum of it. But you know, you're in the playoffs. Be happy. You're just missing pieces and coaching. So just be happy you got there. There's a lot of, there's light at the end of the tunnel for you, but Big Ben, you're gonna do what Big Ben does.
He's not gonna lose a wild card round. Not to the Browns. Not to the little brother. No.
I say 28-14. That's what I'm saying.
I actually have a little bit closer because it is still a divisional game. It's always when it's a divisional game, to me, it's always gonna be within 5 points, actually. I got a 27-23.
Okay. I like that.
That's a weird score. 28-24. That's what I got it. 28-24.
Okay. Fine with that.
Yeah.
Packers and Chiefs chill. They just get to sit back and watch.
And they're gonna be in the Super Bowl. Question though, are you watching these games on Fox and CBS? Or you watching on Nickelodeon? Trying to see what SpongeBob and them is talking about.
That's where the Washington football game will be on Nickelodeon.
I'm gonna be watching these on Nickelodeon myself.
Packers and Chiefs obviously have two MVP candidates there.
Mhm.
You got the A-Rod, which I hate to call him that. It's Aaron Rodgers.
There's only one A-Rod.
I'm A-Rod. Alex Rodriguez, the baseball player, is A-Rod.
Yeah.
He's Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, and I think Russell Wilson should be thrown into there. But talking about this with you, and obviously earlier in commentation, Josh Allen is definitely a third candidate to be thrown in there.
So how do you have it ranked right now?
If it were me, I'd just say I hate the Bills. That's it. But Josh Allen deserves his credit. If I were to rank it, Aaron Rodgers is my pick. He's the definite MVP of this season. This guy goes out day in and day out, gets it done, and he may not have led the league in yards, passing yards this year, but you need that big win at the game, he's getting it for you.
Remember what he said last year because they were trying to trash him? He said a bad season for him is like a career year for other quarterbacks. That's how good this brother is, man.
He's pretty good.
That boy is good.
Well, Stephen A., he's a bad man.
That's a bad man, Aaron Rodgers.
That's a bad man. And Patrick Mahomes had a pretty good year, too. He had a really good year. Josh Allen had an immaculate year, what he did there.
Yeah.
First game of the season, or first half of the season was really, really good. And then it just kind of like, all right, we're winning games. It's
so off a little bit.
But my guy I would throw in there, and I feel like, they don't get the credit they deserve. They get more of the offensive player of the year type look. Throw Derrick Henry in there, man.
2,000 yards? Come on now.
He ran over, I think, almost 500 yards than the next guy behind him. Granted, Dalvin Cook took the day off because someone passed away in his family.
Yeah.
But
he's still
500 yards.
Think about it.
To play for anyways.
Going into that last game of the season, just like last year, going into last year's last game of the season, for him to win a rushing title, he had to have like a certain amount of yards, and he
like 300 yards, and he did it.
Eclipsed it by a lot. This one, he needs to break 2,000. He needed 222 yards. He had 250. Like this boy is, he is unbelievable. How good he is.
I'm telling you, it's the dread, man. It's like aerodynamic, the way he just runs through things, man.
Probably
not swinging. It's just one dreadnought in the back, man. He's gone.
Remember that just like that picture that Mark Ingram standing right next to him. Mark Ingram got his like little jacket on, and he's looking at
he's like looking up.
He's looking up at this grown ass man, like grown ass man. Like Derrick Henry is unbelievable. So I would love for a non-quarterback to. Just like a receiver won the Heisman for the first time in 30 years, I would love to see a non-quarterback. Since I think AP was the last one, right? I would love to see a running back win the award again. I mean, they won the division because of him. It's gonna go to Aaron Rodgers.
I agree.
Why not? But he definitely deserves Offensive Player of the Year. Whatever else award they can give him. I wish there was like college, you can give him a lot of different awards, but I mean, I would love to. I wish it was him, but I got it.
They just give titles, like rushing title, receiving title.
Yeah.
It's in their contract shit too, so they'll be okay with that.
He needs to get all the money all the endorsements. How many commercials do you see him in? I don't see him in enough.
None. I don't see him in any, man.
He's in one, and I don't even think it's really him. It's like an Old Spice commercial or something like that. Like you see quarterbacks in commercials all the time and receivers.
He's a good player, man. Like I feel like he's just like one of those under the radar guys that everybody doesn't want to say he's that good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of compare him to like the Kawhi of the league. He's real quiet to himself, and he's really freaking good.
Yeah. I can accept that. I can accept that.
He's a fun guy.
He's a fun guy.
With that transition, let's jump into the NBA now. So
basketball,
man, it's going. We're into what, 8 games into the season now, almost at 10.
We're like week 2 now, right? Yeah, since Christmas. Yeah.
So we've already had 2 players have 2 big games. Steph Curry drops you 62. He gives you 18 for 31 shooting, 50% from the arc, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Typical Steph Curry numbers with those type of numbers. They beat Portland 137-22.
Yep.
Then Bradley Beal shows up tomorrow. He says, "Well, we got to have some competition in this league, so let me do my thing." He's going to give you 60, his career high, 20 for 35, 7 from 10 from the three-point line. Those are some good numbers. 7 rebounds, 5 assists. But
what happened?
They lose to your team, the Philadelphia 76ers.
7-1, first place in the Eastern Conference. Philadelphia 76ers, as usual.
So he loses, and Steph wins. I mean, give or take. I'm not comparing the two teams at the moment, but the Warriors aren't, the Warriors that we've seen in the past. Obviously, Klay Thompson's not there. He's got to build rapport with these young guys. He's got Draymond. Wiseman looks like rookie of the year to me, man.
I love it. I
like him.
First, he's on my fantasy team, so I'm very. I have Anthony Edwards and Wiseman on my fantasy team. I always like to have two solid rookies. Always have solid rookies on your team. But anyway,
you gotta have good rookies.
What's up?
You gotta have good rookies on your fantasy basketball.
But I feel like he got slighted in college, with the whole Penny Hardaway situation and he didn't get to play in Memphis, but one game or something like that. So I feel like it wasn't a good look because the NCAA is a bunch of crooks.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. So I feel like he got slighted. But
let's transition away from that, even though he's playing good ball. The Wizards suck.
Yeah.
They're 2-5. I think they only won 2 games.
They just brought in what's his name?
Russell
Westbrook. They have a good team. Hachimura, Bertans, they drafted this other kid from Turkey or something like that. They have Bradley Beal. They have Thomas Bryant. They don't have a terrible team. They got Scotty Brooks as a good coach.
He is. I think they just got to smooth out some stuff. But at what point am I Bradley Beal and I'm saying, dude, I just dropped 60. I dropped 60 points.
It wasn't even remotely enough.
And Russ got a double-double, I think.
Russ is still going Russ, but
yeah,
Russ is one of my favorite players in the NBA, but he doesn't play a winning brand of basketball. I don't know how to put it because I don't want to make it come across
he's enjoyable to watch, but he's just God, man, this guy does so much. We just can't win with him.
For him to be successful, he has to do everything though. And he doesn't know how to he hasn't been taught how to take a step back. Even when in Houston got better when he started doing more. His points per game went up to 27, 28, and they were doing better, but that's who he is. He has to be doing everything on the court. He's the Energizer Bunny.
So with that being said, do you think Bradley Beal will want out? Or do you think they can entice him to stay and do better? Honestly, I think wins reflect. If I'm winning, I'll stay. But you just got rid of a guy that I had a long run with, and John Wall, you kind of ran him out of there. And I had a nice little bromance.
But John low-key wanted to be out of there. He wanted to change the scenery.
He did, but it was a good bromance for a while, and it came to an end. So you see that as one guy. It's kind of like Kristaps and Carmelo. That's how I kind of see that as. Kristaps didn't want Carmelo to leave, and he felt betrayed in a way because they got rid of him. They were building rapport, they were doing good, and then you get rid of it. So now you bring in this other guy who's reigning, he's an MVP, he's a really good player, but you're not winning. You're 2-6 or 2-5.
2 and whatever. They're in the bottom of the East right now.
2 wins. I know one team they beat. So you're 2-5. You're not moving anywhere. I'm saying I want out.
So let's keep in mind, we're only on week 2 of the season.
Exactly.
There's no reason to panic. Okay. Here's how I see it going. I think Bradley Beal wants to be in Washington. You know what's but I have a prediction. You know how Boston in 2008 had they had Paul Pierce for all these years and they just could not get nothing done, right? KG was in Minnesota for all these years, it could not get nothing done. I feel like what's going to happen in a few years, Danny Ainge is going to pull off another one of these trades. I'm thinking once LeBron retires. So I got 2-3 years from now, Jason Tatum is balling his ass off. He's so damn good. And he's like, bro, I can't win over here, but I love it here. I think Jaylen Brown will be gone by then. And what's going to happen, Giannis is going to be feeling the same way. And Bradley Beal's going to be feeling the same way. Just like Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett were feeling the same way. I think what's going to happen is that Giannis is going to end up in Boston. I think Bradley Beal is going to end up in Boston. And it's going to be Jason Tatum, Bradley Beal, and Giannis going to run it back like 08 and then be on top of the East for like 3-4 years.
That's a fun little prediction.
I'm telling you can bookmark it right now. I already have it played out in my head.
All right. So my thinking is there's going to be a lot of free agents that want to move on. So there's guys like Kevin Love that's sitting with the Cavs like, what am I doing here? Like,
he is hurt, but he got to go.
He is.
He needs to be on a winning team. This is a waste of his time.
Kevin Love is one. Bradley Beal is one. We all know James Harden. Like, it's literally stop and wait approach with James Harden. Like, did he get traded yet? Oh no, he didn't. So there's another guy, but I don't think he's gonna. That's like 3 players in my mind that are kind of the same. Even though I don't think Bradley Beal is that selfish of a person, he can score and he can do what he needs to do. But he gels well with another player, I think.
So if you have to predict who will go first out of all these guys that should be or could be looking for a trade,
James is going.
But where is he going? Like who?
I don't know. But
that's
James
the problem. There's nobody for him to go to.
That is the problem. But James is going to go.
With that being said, I honestly feel like he's stuck until his contract.
I feel like he's pigeonholed and stuff, but they're going to find a way to get things done. They're going to facilitate something. Because even if the Bulls got to do something, even if the Bulls got to get him.
The Bulls going to give up Zach LaVine just for honestly, Brooklyn was a speculation early on. I think when Spencer Dinwiddie went down, that might have scratched that because they're not going to trade a hurt player that's making his contract he signed was like however much money it was a lot for a guy that is not like a superstar, superstar for that matter. And I think they like the depth that they have in Brooklyn because KD is going to be in and out the lineup. Kyrie is going to be in and out the lineup. He might not even tell Steve Nash that he's going to show up or not because, he's a little crazy sometimes. Obviously, he's probably dealing with something. I'm not sure. So I feel like they much rather have all that depth that they can have possible rather than getting rid of Jared Allen, and Karis LeVert, and Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot. How do I know his name? He was drafted by the Sixers. And Spencer Dinwiddie. And then who do they turn to? Just James Harden? To me, it's not enough.
True. I agree.
And then Golden State. People talk about Golden State. They don't got nothing to give up.
Yeah.
Philly, we're doing well. Why would we get rid of any of our players for him now? Like Doc Rivers hasn't figured out for us, so I don't see.
Doc gets the job done. James.
What about New York? You think he can come to New York?
I'd give up anything for James Harden. Take any, right? I would take James Harden.
Y'all just signed Taj Gibson. Y'all so many power forwards.
We cut a guy to sign Taj Gibson.
Who you cut? Eddie Curry?
Another power forward. We said this guy is 26 and he's damn near 34. We want that because why? Thibodeau likes him.
So Stephen A. Smith said,
this is not my segment, by the way. This is not my segment.
No. So I got a text. I got a text from Sir A-Rod over here that the Knicks are better than the Brooklyn Nets.
No, Stephen A. said the Knicks better than the Nets, and A-Rod
agreed.
Off the statement.
A-Rod agreed.
My answer is no, they are not. They are not better.
I have the receipts. He gave me an astounding yes.
They are not better. However, if you are a Knicks fan like me, you should be happy. You should be happy that you are 5-3 and you are getting good basketball out of your
effort.
I think Julius Randle, hearing all the shit that he heard last year, he can't find people. He can't do everything. Well, here's a fun stat for you. Julius Randle leads his team in points per games, rebounds, and assists. Okay,
that's LeBron. I call them LeBron-like numbers. LLN.
Hell, man, I don't know. 23, 12, and 7. That's a good fucking stat line. Okay, and then RJ Barrett is playing good basketball. He had a bad night the other night, but he's 17, 3, and 4. I like those numbers. Let's get that to 20 points per game.
Yep.
You got Alec Burke coming off the bench, who he's just a scorer.
You know who I like that you guys picked up? Austin Rivers.
Austin Rivers came down yesterday and had a good little run. I've always liked Austin Rivers. I always feel like he's been undervalued because he's Doc's son and he played for Doc. So it's like, he's a good player. Like, I think he could be a starting shooting guard, point guard for any team in the NBA that needs
I prefer him to be a 6-man.
I prefer him too.
But instant offense.
he's a good guy for me to have. I would be content if he was the starter over Elfrid Payton, because Elfrid can get you a triple-double, but you don't get
starting for you guys?
Huh?
Is Elfrid Payton starting for you guys? Ugh.
Yeah. But he can get you a triple-double. It's just a sloppy triple-double.
He's a super poor man's Rondo.
He really is.
He's a broke-ass Rondo. That's what he is.
Poor man's Rondo and a poor man's Westbrook for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
But
I gotta give it to you guys. I gotta give it to you guys. You guys off to a good start.
5-3. Let me run down the teams that we beat. This is because it's very impressive. Lost to the Pacers, lost to the 76ers. However, we give Milwaukee their second loss. That's some confidence there. Okay, Milwaukee's a good team. We beat the Cavs at this point when the Cavs were undefeated at 4-0. So we handed them that one.
Guess what? They're 4-4 now, so irrelevant. Next.
Exactly. Raptors, we lost to them, but I don't know what's up with that. But
another player. Oh, sorry, Kyle Lowry. That's another guy.
That's another guy on the trade block.
The Raptors are terrible right now. But go ahead.
Beat the Pacers the second go at it. Beat the Hawks, who everyone was high off of. Oh, this is their year. They're going to make the playoffs. Well, we beat them. And then the Jazz. And Donovan Mitchell, who I know he came into the Garden and he dropped like 50 points one night against us, or 40-something. He had a good game. We contained him and we beat them. So we get to play OKC next. If the basketball gods love me, that's an easy win, but it's the Knicks at the same time. That should be an easy win for them. So now we should be sitting at 6-3. The Nets, on the other hand, they beat Golden State and they beat Boston. However, it's like a different game. Like, they lose to bad teams. They lose to the Hornets. They lose to the Grizzlies. They beat the Hawks and lose to the Hawks the next night. They lost to the Wizards. They beat the Jazz, and now they got to play the 76ers, and they're sitting at 4-4. KD is averaging 28, 7, and 4. That's your typical KD line. Kyrie, 27, 5, and 6. Typical Kyrie line. And then Karis LeVert's averaging 20 off the bench, which that boy is good.
And I would not exactly. Why would I trade him? So, to me, Brooklyn is playing chess. Like,
yeah,
absolutely. KD just came back from an Achilles tear. 552 games of no basketball. I mean, days of no basketball.
New head coach to the game. He brought the boys with him. Raja Bell's in Miami just chilling.
Got the whole Phoenix Suns coaching that team.
It's literally all the Nets there, man. Sean Marks was the backup center. He's the GM.
Yep.
Amari sitting in a wine bath watching these guys like, just put me in, Steve. Steve's like, I might even run it if Kyrie doesn't play tonight. They're coasting, man. It's chess, not checkers. So
exactly. And they're not playing in a super difficult conference where 2-3 bad games in a row, you're panicking. Like, to me, the Knicks, how Thibodeau teams play, are going to play super hard early, and hopefully their knees and their legs can make it to the end of the season. Whereas by the end of the season, the Nets will be hitting their stride.
Fun stat. One of my friends who I was talking with said Tom Thibodeau's doing it again. And if you look at the league in minutes per game, both Julius Randle and RJ Barrett are doing that. So that's the one thing I don't like. Get your other guys in there that you got. Alec Burke is dropping 20 a game. Get him some playing time. Rest RJ a little bit because I don't want him to be hurt. That's a solid piece.
You got to go deep into your bench. And like Doug Peterson said, you got to see what you got with other players. Because by middle of the season, you'll know who's going to, if Lord willing, make the playoffs, you'll know what your 7-8 man rotation is going to look like by then. But you got to know who out of my bench can win us a game on a Tuesday night in Toronto or something. Well, Tampa, actually. You know what I mean? Like, you need to know who's deep on that bench that you can You know,
they got rid of some guys that was questionable, like Lonzo Trier. Like I don't know why they got rid of him. He was pretty good.
so
There's some
he
questionable
can do
moves,
one
but
thing. He's a scorer.
yeah, but he was. I don't care. Like if I want to score on the Knicks. Like if a Nick isn't in the top 3 in the scoring title, like it's just like it doesn't seem like basketball is real to me, man.
When's
Like
the last time that happened with Melo? Now, like before that, with who?
even before that, like there's always like a predominant. If your leading Knicks scorer scores you 14 points a game, are you like even like woohoo?
But Tom Thibodeau played that old school basketball.
He does, and he runs you into the ground. But I'm liking what I see from Tibbs, so I'm sticking by Tibbs. I'm watching it. I see what you're doing. I'm happy with it. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Like you said, test some of the bench guys out. I want to see what we got in those guys.
Yeah.
Quickly looks really good. I want to see what we got in Toppin when he comes back. So give him some minutes. I think that'll help. Julius Randle a little bit. He can rest him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell Robinson hasn't been in that bad of foul trouble, so that's pretty good. But I want to see those numbers a little bit better. At least 10 a game, at least 10 rebounds a game. I want to see that. But he's sitting at like 7 and 8. You
just want everything. You just want the world, huh?
I'm riding high on my Knicks, man. I've always been a diehard Knicks fan. Like right now,
I can't tell. You always like, I don't support that team.
I'm a fair weather fan. We're gonna call
until what's his name was out of office. I'm not supporting that team. I see you.
True, that's true.
I've been paying attention. Don't worry.
I will stick by those guns, but they're doing good. So like, I can't jump ship. You can't jump ship as a fan. Like you always. I can talk my shit, but that's the team I've been stuck with.
As you should.
Curse with.
Yeah.
I'm riding them to the very end, man. Let's go to it. Where do you go to college? I'm ready.
Are we ready? All right, guys. I need to come up with some game music. Some like Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune stuff. I got to, because we do this segment every week. I got to see, because he thinks he knows where every player went to college. I'm gonna go easy on him this time. I did have a request for one player, so I'm gonna give you 5 players. One is gonna be a request. Okay. If you guys want to send me a request, make sure he doesn't see who you're sending the request so you don't cheat. But let me know so I can figure out, I'm gonna do a fan request every week and then 4 of my own. So the request for the week, we're gonna start. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go. We're gonna start with somebody who used to play for the New York Knickerbockers, Anthony Mason. That was a request. Where did Anthony Mason go to college?
Tennessee State?
Yes, he did. That was a guess. He must have saw this request. Cheating
maybe,
ass.
But nah.
Old cheating ass.
His son went to St. John's, though. I will say that.
His son.
Yeah,
okay.
He's a baller.
All right. Now, the players I'm going to give you are all from the early 2000s. So I'm going to make this easy for you because you stunk up the bed last week. So we're going to make it easy for you, okay? Maybe not too easy. He's one of the hosts of the Knuckleheads podcast, Quentin Richardson, go to college?
Oh, my boy!
2000 draft class.
That's one of my favorite players of all time. Q went to DePaul. I know that for a fact.
You went to DePaul, okay.
I'm a huge Quentin Richardson fan all day, man.
All right.
I even got a Q Rich jersey. I might wear it next one.
I'll give you that one. All right, next player. This is from the 01 draft class. Where did Jamal Tinsley go to college?
Jamal Tinsley. Oh my God, man. Yep. I can see him.
He was a relevant player.
He was relevant.
Okay, thank you. Jamal Tinsley.
Oh man, he played for Indiana and then he just fell off.
He did. 5 seconds. 3.
Indiana?
Nah. He went to Iowa State.
Huh?
Iowa State.
Did he?
He was there for all 4 years.
I forgot about that guy.
All 4 years in Iowa State.
All right.
So we're 2 for 3, 2 out of 3. So we're 2-1 right now. From the 02 draft class.
Jamal Tinsley, man.
That's a good name, right?
That is a good name. I'm not mad with that one that I got that wrong.
All right, good. Because I was about to say, I hope I didn't give you one of those too hard.
I should have.
The player I thought about giving you, I don't think you're gonna get it right. So I'm gonna give you one that maybe you have a chance to get. Okay,
Go for the bonus one at the end so I can try and redeem myself for Tinsley.
that's fair. Okay,
Okay.
that's fair. Where did Karan Butler go to college?
Oh, come on,
You
man.
should know this.
Come on, man. That's a UConn boy right
Okay,
there.
good job. I know that's your squad. All
He
right.
went to he wanted to go to Wisconsin though. I know that because he's from Milwaukee.
Okay. Okay. I'm actually gonna give you two more. Actually,
All right.
where did Matt Barnes go to college?
Did he even go to college?
Matt Barnes went to college. I watch all the smoke, and he talks about it all the time. So I know exactly where he went to college.
Was it in California?
Maybe, I don't know.
Long Beach State. I don't.
He is a West Coast kid.
Is it Fresno State?
He went to the biggest school there, UCLA.
LA. Damn. You're right. He played with Westbrook.
No, he did not.
I think he played with Kevin Love and Westbrook.
No, Kevin Love, Westbrook, and what's that kid's name? Oh my God, Darren Collison. Darren Collison went to college together.
But he played with Holiday then.
Nope. Matt Barnes was drafted in 97, 98, something like that.
I know he wasn't drafted though, was he? I don't think
he was drafted. He was drafted, second round pick.
Really?
Did you know he played for the 76ers?
I did know that.
Yeah, so and then he had a falling out with coach. Oh my God, his name's off the top of my head. He was a point guard, used to play for the Sixers himself. Coach with OKC. You know what I'm talking about? I can't think of his name. But he had a falling out with him and ended up, trying out for teams. And then, the rest of his career kind of just took off. So Matt Barnes went to UCLA. He was a Bruin. Okay.
He's like the greatest plug-in player for any team.
Exactly. Now, this one you should get. It's the greatest draft class, 03, besides 96. 96 and 03, whatever, flip a coin. Where did Kyle Korver go to college?
Creighton.
Yes. Good job. I see you should get this one, so I'm proud of you. All right, that's all I got. That's all I got for you, man. You did okay. You did okay. I should throw another
UCLA.
I should throw another Nick in there.
Throw one. Give me one more.
A Nick. Where did Chris Childs go to college?
You stumped me on that one, okay? It was Boise State, but you gotta give me another. Give me another one.
All right.
Give me another Nick.
Let's go. Another Nick. Where did all these are too easy. Where did Latrell Sprewell go to college? I actually don't know.
Roll Tide.
He did, right? Yeah, he did. You're right.
He went to Bama. I know that.
Okay. That's all I got. You did okay.
All right.
I made it too easy for you. You see what I do for you?
It was a little easy, but
see what I do
you
for
got me hype with Q Rich, man. Whenever I hear Q Rich, man.
Oh boy.
I remember when I was in high school, if I made a three or in middle school, if I made a 3-pointer, we used to do that.
I throw up the knuckleheads. All right, man. But that's all.
Miles too, who didn't go to college.
Yeah, that's all we got though. Thank you guys for tuning in. This was beautiful. We're on camera now. If you want to watch us on YouTube, we're gonna be there. But we got all the other links. A-Rod's gonna give you the rest of the link tree.
You can find us on Twitter at fair_weatherpod. IG is the Fair Weather Podcast. YouTube, just type in the Fair Weather Podcast. You should find us. And then Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you subscribe to podcasts, you'll find us there.
Yep.
I am going to be on another podcast. We will get a shout out on there.
Plug them.
Monte and Friends.
Okay.
And then we are going to try and get another, or we're going to try and get our first guest appearance on the next podcast for you guys. So,
and if it's who we think it is, hopefully his team is successful in the playoffs this weekend. Because he's gonna be real.
Might get two guys on it.
They're gonna be real salty if they come to our show and they lose. Because I'm gonna be talking my stuff.
Okay? I will be too.
And just to keep it real, Bucks fans. So yeah. If they lose to the football team, I'm gonna be talking. All right, man. Thanks guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Later, guys.